Ah, welcome traveler. Come in, take a seat and put up your feet. Today, we're diving into a game called Dawn of Man, a prehistoric city building survival game, where we will be cooking up some roleplay to enhance the gameplay. This is part 11 in our multi-part series, and if you'd like to see more of this, please like, subscribe, and drop a comment down below. Let's get cooking. And here we are, back with the River Clan. Now, in the previous episode, we dove into the Copper Age and we did some expansion. We went ahead and built a little area over here so we could actually start working with copper. And we also looked at expanding our farms a bit. And between episodes, I've actually gone ahead and expanded this whole section over here to provide much more farming space and a lot more crops and food. Now, we are being able to manage at the moment with the workload. Just barely. We have 136 people with a capacity of 176. Our workflow it's reasonably good. The workload is fluctuating between 140 to 160%, so we're generally in the clear. But we do need to start looking at increasing the population so that our workflow is never dipping too roughly. Our people seem to be doing okay for the most part. And we have plenty of buildings as well. Now, as you can see, food is looking really well. And our grain is also looking good. We're waiting for spring to come to an end. In summer, all of our lentils, chickpeas, and so forth will be planted. And I'm hoping that before the end of this spring, all of our grains will actually be finished planted as well. But what are we looking at today? Well, in today's episode, we're going to be looking at jumping into the Bronze Age over here. Now, as you can see, once you unlock this Bronze Age, you gain access to tin mines. You can then mix copper and tin to create bronze and to create the next tier of weapons, which is bronze weapons themselves. And you'll also get to unlock all of these additional goodies that come with this age as well. This is going to be highly important as there is a certain something that comes with Bronze Age that we really want. And that, of course, is the plows. Now, in order to get the plows, we have to first domesticate horses. And then, obviously, we'll get access to the plows themselves. And this will allow one villager to equip a plow, put it onto a cow, or I think a horse can also pull it, but I may be mistaken there. But I have seen the cows pull the plows. And it allows that one villager to actually come in and plant these crops very efficiently. So that way we will actually have all of our villagers coming in, planting all of our fields and freeing up a large percentage of this workload here to be focusing on other things. Another thing that we also get here in the Bronze Age is this masonry, which means that we will be upgrading all of our wooden structures into stone structures. These include the walls, watchtowers, storehouses, granaries, normal huts, and even the stables. All of them will have a stone equivalent of an upgrade happening to them, which is exciting because it's going to really change the look of our whole settlement and make it look a little bit more modernized as compared to just wooden structures. Something worth taking note of, though, is that as soon as we transition into this age, we will actually be losing access to some of these animals. Things like the cave bear, the ancient bison, which is over here, the cave hyena, the cave lion, and I think the reindeer itself, strangely enough. These 5 animals will actually go extinct once we transition through to this stage. They're still around during the Copper Age, but in the Bronze Age, they go extinct. So our access to animals drastically changes just in this one age itself. Now, there is something to keep in mind, and we'll have to decide, are we going to stick around in this age for a little bit longer, try to hunt a little bit, get some more knowledge points, or do we feel secure in knowing that we have these many points to spend? Personally, at this stage, I think that we're pretty good with this amount of knowledge. 178 should get us through everything that we need here. and then we can look at unlocking more knowledge points for the Iron Age itself, but that's in the future. But I do think that we are well enough equipped at the moment to transition into the Bronze Age at least. So here we go. We're going up to tech, and we're unlocking the Bronze Age, and let's have a look. So bronze smelting is now unlocked, and there we go. Bronze in the pit furnace and the creation of bronze tools and weapons. So in order to smelt bronze, we actually have to come over here, and let's have a look here. We have, here is tin ore. So those little mines over there, those veins. Here's another one. Actually, I'm going to go for this one first. These veins we need to look at actually coming in and harvesting them. Let me just see here. It's actually under metallurgy. Yes, here we go. Tin mine. So we set that up because bronze is actually an alloy, which means that it's a metal composed of two other metals that are melted and combined together, which would be copper and tin. And together those create bronze, which is a much stronger, much sturdier metal, being an alloy, and allows us to create stronger tools and weapons to better craft and defend and harvest resources and so forth. But anyway, let's dive a little bit deeper into this age. So the first thing we're going to get is the horse domestication, because we want the plows. That is 100% our first priority. And then at the same time, we're also going to get the masonry over here. So that will give us access to warehouses, roundhouses, stone stables, stone walls, and saddle stones. This over here just gives us access to the plow, which is perfectly fine. So we're actually going to come in here, go to this workshop over here, and we're going to line up a whole bunch of these plows to be made. We'll actually get rid of the cart and the fishing rod for now, set that to a high priority, and start making a whole lot of plows. Now, what do we also need to have a look at? We need to check where are any horses. So over here we have some wild horses. And we're going to... okay, these are all boars. That is an adult horse. Okay, so there's no young horses here. But we do need to keep an eye out for them, because we want to get them. We need them for our new settlement. Although we do have some cows, and once we start producing enough plows, we can actually have the cows themselves pull the plows through our fields. So we're just going to check, we're going to have a look if there are any horses in the area. If not, it's not a massive train smash, it's not a big deal. We actually might grab some of these goats, capture them. It's not such a major deal because, well, we do have 8 cows. So we're going to let things run for a bit here, get these plows constructed, and then we can have a look at how that affects the farming itself. And there we go, the construction of our first plow. Now our people will come in during the seasons that we're doing planting. They'll grab the plow, they'll grab one of our domesticated animals, most probably one of the cattle, and use that to come in and actually plant the fields. Makes it a lot easier. One person's able to do a much larger part of the workload. But it is important to remember that you will also need to have enough people to actually get the harvest in. So while the plow might make it a lot easier to actually plant, you will still need quite a lot of people to come in and harvest your crops once they're ready. So it's just something to keep in mind. And with fall almost coming to an end, we can see that our people have come in and harvested a large portion of these lands already, but there's still quite a bit of work left over here. But we're going to let that run. We're not going to give them additional jobs quite yet. But as soon as the seasons change into winter, we're actually going to come in and focus on masonry itself. So with that, we're going to, during the winter time, when work is quite low, we're going to come in and upgrade our houses, our granary, storages, essentially most of our buildings. And eventually, once all that's done, we'll look at upgrading the walls as well. Now it is important to remember that with houses especially, when you upgrade them, they will become unavailable during that time of being upgraded. So if you're going to upgrade, make sure that you have more houses than population. We're lucky in that we actually have space for 39 more people at the moment. So we can actually come in and designate maybe 3, maybe 6 houses to be upgraded and allow them to upgrade without actually affecting our total capacity here. Or our current population, should I rather say. Nobody will be left homeless while we're busy upgrading. Now, as for priority in upgrading, I personally think houses should be upgraded first, because this will just allow your population to grow as you're, looking at other things that need to be upgraded. But it also depends on where you are at that exact stage in your playthrough. It could be that you need more storage space, perhaps you need more, stable space. Stable space is always a good choice as well. More animals means more possible food, clothing, a workforce for the plows, so forth. We're actually going to focus on stables after we've done a couple of houses, as I do want some houses set up first. The more people we have, the more hands we can have working, and the more work we can get done, and the better our community can thrive and survive. So we're going to let things run till we hit winter, and then we'll look at some upgrades. And here we can actually see everything that's gone extinct. So the cave lions, cave bears, reindeer, ancient bison, megaloceros, and cave hyena. 6 animals have gone extinct. This is a massive chunk out of this population that we could have hunted for possible knowledge points, but unfortunately it is what it is. We do still have some milestones that we can hit here. A couple more people, we'll get some more knowledge from that. 5 more raiders killed, so 1 raider encounter should give us 2 knowledge there. Quite a bit more domesticated animals, we should be able to hit that as well. We do have the capacity for them. And luckily there are still enough of the other animals remaining that we can hunt them and build structures, create tools, so forth, to get more knowledge. So it's not the end of the world, but it is a large chunk of potential knowledge points. As we can see here, feral horse, first one hunted, knowledge gained. Which reminds me, let's have a look here quickly. So we're going to just check in primal view, see if there are any horses around, because we do want to tame them. I don't notice any, so we're going to come in here, capture all of these cows, hunt the rest. Bison, I think we can just hunt all of those. What do we have here? Another young bison and another bison over there. Okay, I think that's good enough. Plenty of work for our hunters. Oh, here we go. Here are some feral horses. So we'll capture those and hunt the adults. Bears, hunt them as well, so they can be problematic for our settlers. We have some horses over here, not majorly important, there's no young ones. We have a bear coming in quite close, so we're just going to set that to be hunted. I don't want it causing problems for us. Right, well, as I said, it is winter now, so we can actually look at doing some upgrades. So let's come in and we'll designate this house, and this house to be upgraded. Now, as you can see, it takes 4 stone, 2 logs, 4 sticks, and 3 hay or straw. So quite a few more resources than normal, but it's not a major train smash. We can afford that, and we do actually have these sources of stone quite close to our settlement itself, over here, all along the river here as well, which can actually easily be cleared up. And along here there's quite a bit. In some places we actually do need to clear them, like over here, so that we can actually close up our wall properly, as well as over there in the distance, and I think, yes, here's another spot over here as well. So quite a bit of stone that we can actually make use of to get through these upgrades. But we're going to let things run a bit, see how far we can actually get in this winter time. And here we go, waiting for things to be completed. We actually encounter some raiders. So as you can see, they have quite a lot more weapons, more advanced weapons now. Proper axes, bronze swords, shields, so forth. So they're getting very dangerous. So it's very important that we rally all of our people together. They should be running on over here. And we're actually going to use quite a large force to have to fight them because of the differences in weapon capabilities. Now, I actually made quite a big mistake in that I didn't stay long enough in the copper age and made some copper weapons. But we're just going to have to hope for the best and send a far superior amount of people over to deal with them. Hopefully we just outnumber them to such a degree that technology doesn't make a difference. As you can see here, we're actually cutting them down quite a bit. Oh, fantastic. We were able to defeat them, and I don't think we lost a single person there, which we're very fortunate in. Although they were able to destroy our guardhouse over here, which is fine. We can always replace that. It's much easier to replace than to actually replace lost people. There we go. And I wonder... Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they drop... Oh, they do. Fantastic. Okay, they actually dropped their gear, so we can actually get some copper weapons and things from that as well, and use that to our advantage. Oh, unfortunately, this gentleman here just passed away. Horrible. Anyway, so such is life, circle of life and all that. So yeah, we're just going to focus again on trying to get these 3 huts built. Although with our current workforce and the workload, it doesn't seem like it's going to be happening this winter. So we may come in here, cancel this upgrade and this one. Maybe we'll just look at trying to upgrade one building at a time, at least until we have a larger population to actually get through this workload. And here we go, finally towards the end of winter. We're finally having someone actually come in and start working on this house to upgrade it. We also had some 3 villagers join us over here. But I am afraid that what's going to happen here is they'll be working on this hut, they'll break it down, we'll transition into spring, they'll go off and plant, and we'll sit again with a unconstructed home. So we'll just keep an eye on this and see if this actually is going to get built. So something else I really want to try showcase here is the efficiency of the plow itself. So as we can see, the plow is coming in here. It's drawn by a ox, cattle, a bull. And you'll actually see that what they do is it just goes across and it will plant across all of these in a row, which is really efficient, because if we look here, we have quite a lot that needs to be planted. And although it seems quite slow, this is actually a lot more efficient than having one person come in and planting one little spot at a time. You can see they're taking quite a bit of time there. And he's already done 2, maybe 2.5 in the time that it's taken them to plant 1. So if you could have a whole team of, plows working around the clock during these planting seasons, you can get quite a lot done. And let's have a look here. A milestone unlocked, metal alloy, fantastic. So I believe that this milestone is actually for making our first bronze. Being an alloy. Let's go check it out. So it's over here, manage. There we go. Yes, obtain 1 unit of bronze. Fantastic. We only have 2 of these milestones left, which is the secret of steel, which is obviously only going to be unlocked in the next age, and an iron settlement, which I think will also only be in the next age. But for the time being, we're going to let our people work. Hopefully they'll put this plow to good use, get the rest of these fields planted, but we should still be fine for grain. And what I really hope is that they'll actually finish the construction of this building and we can start focusing on some more people coming in, some more housing, things like that. Our population is growing quite a bit here. We're already up to 142, so we'll just keep at it and we'll be right back as soon as something interesting has happened. And there we go. Our first roundhouse has been completed with a whopping population capacity of 5 for each one of these, which will be insanely big once we upgrade all of these houses to a roundhouse. I actually really like the look of this. I like the walls. I like the fact that you can actually see that it looks like individual stones have been put together, and it's still making use of the straw for the roofing itself. It looks a lot more elegant than this. It's definitely an upgrade, and I think it's going to look really nice once our whole settlement has this vibe going for it. I'm quite curious to see what the granaries look like once they upgrade, as well as the other storehouses, but we'll eventually get there. For now, I do want to have a look at upgrading one of these stables, just so we can have a look at what they also look like. So we're going to set this one to be upgraded, and we'll check it out. I mean, it's not a bad looking building, but I am quite curious to see what the improved version looks like. That looks absolutely amazing in my opinion. I love it. It is such an elegant building compared to this. It's not the greatest in history, but I mean, this is a massive accomplishment for prehistoric man to accomplish, to get through to. It just looks so nice. And I can imagine what this is going to look like once all of our stables have actually been upgraded to this level. I think the next thing we'll look at is actually upgrading one of our storage huts. So I think we'll go with maybe that one, or actually let's go for this one. This one is empty. So we're going to set this one to be upgraded. I'm also curious to see how this will improve. And our workload is actually looking pretty good. Our population has grown quite a bit. We're at 155 at the moment, which is quite substantial actually. And as we're upgrading, we're just going to be increasing the space, increasing our total capacity. And as long as we can generate enough food, which I do think we will be able to do, we should be able to have a larger population. As you can see, we can already be going into planting these additional fields over here for food, just by our workload being manageable now. So I do believe that we should be able to sustain a population of 173, maybe 200. I'd like to think 200 we should be able to sustain. But we'll see. We'll see what it's like in the future. For now, we'll just be looking at upgrading some buildings, and hopefully everything's going to go off without any problems. Ah, this looks so good. I love it. This warehouse is brilliant. I really dig the design of the buildings in this age, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what the rest of this looks like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of a skip ahead here, and we're going to see what it'll look like, get a better idea of what it'll look like once some of this stuff is actually upgraded. And then we'll be right back and we can have a look at it. These building upgrades look amazing. Even the wall itself, just upgrading this to stone, looks really good, even from a distance. Over here we already have 4 of the houses upgraded, with another 2 on the way, and a 5th over here. So I think this is going to look really, really nice once this is completed. We also have quite a few, if we go over here, quite a few plows, 4 at least, with I think there's another 5 on the way over there as well. But as you can see, just by having those plows, we've actually been able to, in the springtime, plant all of that, and actually had managed to get started on this as well. And in the season before that, winter, we actually managed to plow all the way up to here. So I think if we can increase this into the double digits, 10, 11, round about there, we should have the animals to be able to actually pull these carts, these plows, and we should be able to get all of these fields planted and be able to sustain our population, which is drastically growing. We are already at 162, and as we upgrade these houses, this is just going to keep increasing in capacity, and we could easily be reaching 200, 250 people just by upgrading all of these houses over here. Very exciting times ahead. Right, well, I'm going to actually see how much I can actually get upgraded here, and then we'll look at what this all looks like towards the end. Okay, so I've gone ahead and upgraded a couple of the houses here, as you can see. And I've also gone and upgraded some more stables. So now we can actually house 120 animals, which is our limit. And we are slowly going ahead and increasing the amount of plows that we have, trying to replenish the sledges and carts as well, as this greatly increases the speed by which we can plant our crops and hopefully keep this settlement sustained in the amount of food that it needs and the amount of straw that we're going to need to feed all of our animals. So between this episode and the next one, I may look at upgrading some of the walls, some more buildings, some more storehouses and so forth, but we'll keep all of these additional upgrades over here, such as the sword making, shield making, brewing and so forth. We'll keep that for the next episode as we are out of time for today's chapter. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, as that would greatly help the channel. If you'd like to be kept updated as to new videos being released, then please hit that notification bell. If you have any feedback, suggestions or requests, leave a comment down below and let us know. Until next time, this is Roast Temp. Keep cooking.